Welcome to another episode of I Am the Change podcast, brought to you by Dreams to Reality Incorporated, a nonprofit organization geared toward inspiring, uplifting, and empowering communities all over the world. I am your host, Mychal Davis, alongside Mr. Jason Redmond.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing tonight, man?
What's going on?
Man, look, I'm excited this week, man. We got the younger brother to Attorney Jeremy Collins tonight. This is my guy, man. Jeremy's my dude. This is my guy, man. This guy here, great guy, man. I can't say enough for him other than the fact he ain't took me hunting yet. But a lot of it's my fault because I ain't got my hunting license yet.
It's 100% all your fault.
yeah. I'll take it. I'll take the L.
Or I could take you hunting and you can sit in the truck with me while I hunt. Because I'm not going to jail, so you can hunt.
No, I'm not. Because we're gonna be there early too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, okay. I'm going to Walmart to get my hunting license tomorrow, just because.
I'm going to call you tomorrow to verify that actually happened.
Just to make sure.
Don't call me until after 5.
They say trust but verify, right?
Yeah. Trust and verify after 5, though. Yeah.
After 5.
After 5. This is my guy, man. So I'm gonna let him tell you his story about what he does and how he got started doing it, but. Consider the carry class if you gotta go. If you haven't gotten it, this is the man to go to. And I'm gonna let him tell you his story because, man, we grew up. People in my house we had a gun here and there, but gun advocates, gun safety, just want to know about a gun. Like, every time I'm looking for a weapon, like I'm a big shotgun guy, but I call James and James be like, oh man, get this, try that. Let me send me the picture of the gun. And, talented brother, smart. He is knowledgeable of what he does, man. And I believe in letting experts do their thing, man. So whenever I need something done, James Collins is my guy. But, hey, man, I'm not going to take your shot. Dog, give me a story, dog. Go ahead.
So, to Jason's point, I come from very humble beginnings. I know you all already met my older brother, Jeremy. So obviously we grew up, rural Eastern North Carolina, Dardens to be specific. We had firearms in the home, but we grew up in a culture in which, like most other Black families, guns were not for children. So my father never exposed us to firearms. I never had any experience shooting any firearms until I was in the Marine Corps. When I was commissioned into the Marine Corps in 2003, went through the process of learning marksmanship, what I like to say the hard way, because at that point, it's your career. So I was put in a position where I was given a great deal of information, kind of like taking a sip out of a fire hose. And I just kind of naturally fell in love with firearms and shooting. To be 100% transparent, when I first started shooting, I wasn't very good. It took a lot of remedial action and training for me to really kind of invest the time in myself to improve. By the time I left the Marine Corps, I was shooting far better than when I joined. Right. And now, I've taken that a step farther and started a business. And I basically try to take the information that I gained in the Marine Corps, break it down into bite-sized, kind of palatable bites, and share it with the community with regards to fundamentals of marksmanship and concealed carry training, as well as, some just basic general NRA classes. I teach basic fundamentals, pistol shooting. I teach personal protection in the home, personal protection outside of the home, refuse to be the victim. I'm all about trying to empower people so that they are more safe and understand firearms better.
Dog, you make it sound so great. And like,
yeah, absolutely.
Hey man, so I took his concealed carry class, man. Hey, I have never been like I thought I knew a little bit about, I do insurance also, so I thought I knew a little bit about the law. And I came out that class looking like, man, this guy knows a little bit of everything. This guy knows everything. But man, great. Well, great class.
If someone's going to take the time to come and spend 8 hours in the classroom with me, I owe it to you to be thorough. You should come out of my class knowing things that you didn't know before you came, or else I wasted your time.
Hey, look, and people be talking about, oh man, you can take guns to rally. I'm like, hey, dude, no, you can't. You can't take that gun. You can't go to no rally or no peaceful demonstration with no firearm.
Against the law.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man,
Absolutely.
look, I was telling somebody that they was like, you can take a gun. I said, no, ma'am. No, you cannot. I took a concealed carry class with James Collins, and he said, oh, man, I was giving it to him.
Good,
yeah.
good. But at the end of the day, man, you don't want someone to actually go out here thinking they're doing the right thing to be breaking the law. Yeah. So if I can share something with someone that keeps them from having a negative encounter, we all win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said with your class, you're empowering and you're educating on gun safety. Now, why is this so important for you to do, especially in this day and age?
So in this day and age, I think about the fact that, you know, as it relates to the United States and the way our demographics are, we as people of color are probably 150 to 200 years behind our non-minority counterparts. If you think about just the history of the NRA was created to be kind of the standard as it relates to firearms training. Because if you think about the standard in the Civil War, you see, you know, good old boys from the South who really could shoot well. And the Union recognized that, you know, these guys really could shoot better than they could. And when the Union was far outnumbering the Confederates were able to hold them off and could have potentially won the Civil War just off of their sheer desire to fight as well as their marksmanship. So the NRA started just after the Civil War ended. And from that day forward, they became what started as just like the tradition and standard for training, then turned into a more political movement. But for me, I want to train and empower our people and any person, because I'm not going to discriminate. If there are, you know, white people in my class, I love it. Hispanic people, you know, Asian people, I treat everybody the same. Either you do the good job and you pass, or you do a bad job and you fail. And that's really got nothing to do with me. That's more on you, the student. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I'm providing information, because the laws are kind of tricky. And if no one's ever told you the right thing, it's quite possible that you would do something wrong thinking that you were in the position to do the right thing.
Like, one thing I learned out of the class was, like, I knew that you had the Second Amendment, you had the right to bear arms, and I know in North Carolina, it's an open carry state, but I never really understood what open carry meant. So you technically can walk around with your sidearm on your piece on your side. You just have to make it known that you have it.
It has to be in plain sight. At least 2/3 of your firearm has to be present. So, Mychal, I'm not sure where you are located. What state are you in?
I'm in Seattle, Washington.
Okay, yeah. So the laws are different in Washington.
Yeah.
And this is where, so I can teach the standard as it relates to how to shoot, but I don't know your laws specifically. So in the state of North Carolina, we are an open carry state. So as long as you legally can possess a firearm, as long as it is in plain sight, you don't need a permit to do so. But there's some states that do not have an open carry. Therefore, you cannot go through this process of carrying a firearm openly. You can only carry it concealed unless you are law enforcement or have gone through some other certification process.
So, like, I think Georgia's not an open carry state. And so, like, you can't walk around with your shotgun in Georgia.
I know you can't in South Carolina.
You can't?
No.
Oh, wow. I'm glad you said something. But I can still carry it openly in South Carolina.
You should have your concealed carry by now, sir.
That's another story for another topic, man.
See what I'm dealing with here?
Yeah, I take the class, man. Yeah, I take the class.
Take the class and do the next. Everybody who leaves my class leaves the class with homework. That homework is to schedule an appointment with the sheriff's department.
It is.
Jason hasn't done his homework.
I didn't do my homework. My wife did it. She got her concealed.
I'm not worried about
how long ago did you take the class? How long ago did you take the class?
That's irrelevant, man. That's not
let's talk about
you've been missing that homework for a while, huh?
Yeah. I told you this is my guy, man. If I gotta take the class again, I gotta take the class again. Yeah, it's my guy though. Yeah. No, man, I took the class. I think it was like January.
Sounds about right.
About January. And man, it was a great class. I just hadn't gone. My thing is, I'm a shotgun guy. I'm not a firearm. I'm not a handgun guy. So, but he's gonna tell you, oh, you need a handgun for personal protection because you might be out somewhere and you don't have your gun on you. If you had your handgun on you, you can protect yourself.
Yeah. Hey, let's take it a step further. All right, Jason. When's the last time you went to the shooting range?
I went shooting Last time I went shooting maybe about 2 months ago. Yeah.
Okay.
2 months ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the other thing that I tell everyone that takes my class, taking a class is a first step. Mm-hmm. Getting a firearm, that's another great step. Getting a concealed carry, also just another step. Mm-hmm. But if you don't take the time to actually practice and become proficient, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a waste of your time. Yeah, because you're not good. You're not good with your tool. Matter of fact, I bought a shotgun, an AK shotgun, and I gave that to my son. And I told him, "Hey, go shoot, learn the gun," because it was a gas propelled. It was a gas propelled.
Gas operated.
Yeah, sorry, gas operated. It was gas operated, and you had to turn. You had to set the gas. You know I'm saying it right?
Close enough.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you had to set the gas for it to chamber the bullet, because when I was shooting it, it wouldn't chamber the bullet, it would get stuck. I was like, hey man, this ain't working right. So I told him, well, we got a family friend that's down in Louisiana, it's a gun dealer. And he took it out there to him, let him shoot it. And he was he's like, oh yeah, you gotta do this. Because I thought it was the bullets. I thought certain bullets wouldn't chamber. But he was like, it's just a gas setting, you gotta change it up.
Correct.
But, yeah, see, I did that part. I learned the weapon. Yeah. He's not giving me no credit on that part. That's all right. It's okay. Yeah.
No, you're my guy, dog.
I got you, man. I'm just saying, like, you're supposed to be like, hey man.
From the time I moved to Durham in 2007, you and I have been rocking.
That's my dude, man. I tell you, man. Yeah. Start to finish.
Point blank, period.
Yeah.
So you took this gun class around 2007, Jason?
No.
Just making sure.
No, man. No. I took the class this past 2020. Was it 2020 or 2021?
It was 21.
It was 21. Yeah. I just took the class. I just hadn't gone. I just hadn't. So I took the class because I really wanted more information on guns. Because again, we didn't grow up around guns. My parents had them. My parents had them. My dad had one, my mom had one, but it wasn't really a situation where we were big on gun culture. I think the first time I shot a gun, I might have had just bought my shotgun, and we were under the bridge outside, and boom, that was it. I think I shot it twice and I put it up, and I never shot it again. I hadn't shot it again till I went to the gun range. But
okay. So James, how do you feel about kids being educated on guns and gun safety? How do you feel about that?
I'm 100% an advocate for children being taught and trained properly, first and foremost on gun safety. No matter how small a child is, you need to start teaching them that if they see a firearm, not to touch it, to go and get an adult. Now, as they get bigger and older, you can teach them what things to look for to verify that this firearm is safe or, clear. Meaning there is no magazine inserted if it's a semi-automatic, or there are no rounds in the chamber or in the cylinder if it is a revolver. All of these things can be taught gradually. I actually start teaching classes working with children as young as 10 years old. Younger than 10, I think children don't really have a concept of safety and more importantly, life or death yet. So I don't personally want to work with children under 10 years old, but children age range 10 to 16, I'll work with a parent present, and 16 to 18, I don't necessarily need that parent or that adult in the room.
Gotcha. So you do a home safety course. So I remember when I took your course, you said it's different. Like to go into gun range is one thing, and standing and shooting at a target, but you need to get out and go to a gun range where you can move around and hit a moving target. So tell me about how when you teach that class, like what do you emphasize and what do you look at? Like when you're looking at a moving target, like where are you aiming to hit it? I know you're not shooting at it.
So the most important thing as it relates to personal protection in your home is you've got to account for what in your home could stop a bullet, which therefore could provide you with some cover, and also think about where your concealment is in your house. So if a bad guy breaks into your house, you should know your floor plan better than anyone else. So this person should be stumbling around, making some noise that would give you some key indicators as to where that person is. In the state of North Carolina, if there's an intruder in your home, we have what's called the castle doctrine, which means you are justified in using deadly force on this threat from the point where they break the threshold of your home. So you don't have to see their weapon. You don't have to know their intent. You can use pretty decisive action to neutralize this threat, point blank, period. And that's one thing. So understanding your house and how you would engage with a threat. Now, as you start talking about engaging with a moving target, well, this person is not running full speed like a deer when you're hunting and you start talking about leading the target. When you're talking about somebody who might be walking through your house or possibly running, you still want to aim center mass. This person, let's just say they're, duck, dodge, whatever. But if you're aiming center mass, you're more likely to hit your target. And shooting for protection is different from shooting at the range. When you're at the range, and I'm talking to you about the 7 fundamentals of marksmanship, that's not the same thing as defensive shooting. For defensive shooting, you want to get that front sight tip on your target and pull the trigger as fast as possible because you want to quickly neutralize this threat before they have the opportunity to harm you.
Gotcha. And you got all this knowledge and tutelage through the military.
Some through the military, some through training in the NRA, some through the United States Concealed Carry Association, because I also have a partnership with them. And like I said, man, this is something that I enjoy. So I like doing the research. I like going to learn more. I like getting more certifications. I'm in the process now of trying to pick up a couple more certifications. I like to, just continue to grow in this industry and learn more. So the more I learn, the more I can share.
So home defense weapon. So I have a 12 gauge shotgun. So home defense weapon, the best one in your opinion is what?
So I never go down this path of telling someone else what is the best firearm for them.
Your opinion for James Collins. Let's go. Yeah.
James Collins, because I have a toddler, I have to treat this scenario differently. Okay. I can't just have a 12 gauge shotgun next to my bed, because I have a 3-year-old.
You can mount it on the wall, dog.
Right. Exactly. But a lot here. So let me talk you through why sometimes I nitpick people who go for 12 gauges. Okay. What type of shell do you have loaded in that 12 gauge?
2 3/4 shells.
That's the size. Is it a buckshot or a slug?
So I got bucks. I got double out bucks. I got 5, 6 shot, and I got a 7.
Okay. So what you have in your shotgun right now, all of which are pellets designed to scatter, right?
Yeah.
So you want a dispersion pattern so that when you shoot, it's all going to come out in a wad. After about 7 to 10 yards, that wad is going to open and it's going to spread. Now, based upon the size of your house, what's the longest shot you would take in your house? Do you have a long hallway or one room that's like from one wall to the other?
I think the longest we have would probably be from the upstairs bedroom to the door.
Would that wad have opened up yet? Is the question.
You said 7 to 10 feet?
About 7 yards.
7 yards? Feet. No, it probably wouldn't open up yet.
All right.
So a double out buck would work because
it's 9 pellets. And they're coming out and they're going to start opening up almost immediately. That's not entirely true. They're still going to stay in a wad for a good little period. The point I want to make here is with that shotgun, imagine I'm on the other side of the room and there's a bad guy on the other side of the room. You pull your shotgun, you take this shot, you very well might hurt me too. If these pellets are spreading.
Right.
And you take this shot.
Okay.
So nothing against the shotgun, but you need to understand what it does and how it's designed, and more importantly, what it's shooting. You have to take your shotgun to the range and what's called pattern your shotgun. You need to understand what your shotgun is going to do with the shells you're using. Now, that's shotguns. Handguns. Some people, like yourself, you wear corrective lenses. You hear something go stumble in the night. Are you going to put your glasses on first, or are you going to grab your gun?
You're going to grab that. You're going to grab that tool, baby.
So to that point, because of certain, I don't know what your actual prescription is for your glasses. It might be pretty
blind. It's blind. You can say blind. It's okay.
Hey, if you can't see, that's between you and the good Lord. But my point is, you probably don't want to go and grab a handgun if you can't see.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you probably can't see the front sight tip. I have great vision. So I have night sights that I put on my handgun.
Like the end of it with the
away from my daughter.
The night. So what? So tell the folks that don't know what a night sight is what a night sight is. Because I'm one of them.
When I say night sights, I'm referring to sights that are illuminated, i.e., glow in the dark. The company that I chose to buy to put on my handgun is Trijicon. Trijicon, literally, I can look at my gun in the dark and I see 3 green dots because they're all lit up. My rear sights which are 2 dots, and then my front sight tip is a 3rd dot. I see all 3 of them.
Okay. And you recommend folks to have night sights?
Yes, I recommend that you should have night sights on your firearm because you want to guarantee that you are like aiming properly at this target. A lot of times people will say, well, you need to be careful what you're shooting because in the event that you miss, it's going to go through your house. Well, so will a shotgun. Unless you're shooting birdshot, it all will go through sheetrock and vinyl siding. So if you have a house that's made of brick, then you're fortunate and you can be a little bit less concerned about, this possibly passing through. But at the end of the day, we start talking about accuracy as you engage with threats. What's more accurate than a rifle? Nothing. So I can shoot a rifle 500.
You find it? I'm saying like that. That's it. Okay, man. Look, I didn't know that. So that's 5 football fields.
Correct.
Oh man, that's dope, man.
So when I came through the Marine Corps, we were required to do that with iron sights, meaning with just the factory sights on the gun. Now, they have all types of optics that you can use.
Right.
I still say, learn to master the firearm. Now,
so that means you shooting that long away with just the iron sights on that thing?
Yeah.
But
the other thing is, you got to remember, back then I was trained on how to adjust for the wind, for the elevation.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes into it.
Years. So I like to that point to teach me those things because it's been so long since the Marine Corps trained me on that. It would be careless of me to sit out here and think, well, because I learned it in 2002, I should be good at it today. That's a long time ago. I'm a dinosaur compared to some of these guys.
You're far from a dinosaur, brother. You're a highly classic vehicle. Yeah.
But my point is, it's a deteriorating skill. So if you don't do it on a regular basis, you forget, what types of adjustments to make. So for me, if I had a shot at 500 yards right now today, I'd aim high because I know I probably would be shooting low. But when we start talking about aiming high, I'm gonna aim for the top of your forehead, let that bullet fall. It's gonna hit you somewhere
between here and there.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Right. All right. There you go.
So I got 2 questions for you, and one is leading into the next. Do you have any experience handling tasers?
Handling what?
Tasers.
No, I do not.
So you wouldn't know the feel of a taser or anything? Because I'm just asking.
That's not entirely true. I've touched a taser before. So you got to think, they make several different versions of a taser. Yeah. When you start talking about what law enforcement carries, that's completely different than what you might purchase at like some personal defense, like a gun show or something along those lines. What they carry is designed to do something different from that little stun gun some lady might have in her purse.
Oh, okay.
So do you think it would be easy to tell the difference between one of those, the officer issued tasers and their handgun?
I would like to think so. And more importantly, if you think about like there's standard operating procedures or SOPs for that very distinction, police officers are trained to keep their taser on their non-dominant hand side and their firearm on their dominant hand or strong hand side, so that you don't, in the heat of the moment, grab the wrong thing.
Okay, all right. Because it sounds like there's a case going on right now with somebody grabbing the wrong.
Yeah. You know, I'm not in a position to give any legal advice, nor am I in a position to speak on law enforcement or their training. I can only sit back and kind of Monday morning quarterback.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha. So you also kind of go ahead. Mike.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, ask that question without, you know what I'm saying, going into that, because I didn't know how you feel about actually like me asking you that question about the officer.
No, it doesn't bother me. I wish we had more transparency and more accountability. I think that would actually help to kind of dampen the flames on both sides of the conversation. Because one of the things that Jason can attest to, when I'm talking in my class, I talk a great deal about the fact that, you know, when you have a professional conversation with a member of law enforcement, they are actually in charge. You are detained until they release you to go, if it's a professional conversation. Now, with that being said, they aren't all going to be, you know, top-notch guys. There are bad people in every profession. You know, there's a doctor that's not as good as some other doctors. There are nurses that are not as good as some other nurses, you know, so forth and so on. So to think that all people, because they put on a law enforcement uniform, makes them, you know, the cream of the crop, or they are somehow the salt of the earth, that just can't be true. So if you're in a situation and having a conversation with a police officer and this person isn't really being respectful, or they aren't being professional, guess what? In that moment, comply. If at all possible, you comply and you complain later. That's what I tell every student that comes through my class. Comply now, complain later. If that means you press charges against that officer, that means you sue them, whatever the case may be, but comply on the spot, because this person has been given the authority by their job to potentially take your life. You know, so with that being said, you comply now. If that means you got to get embarrassed, you get dirty because they made you lay on the ground, whatever the case may be, you comply now, complain later.
So like you told a story in class one day about you were detained and you were stopped and you had your weapon on you, and the officer told you to take your weapon off. He was like, nope, you get it.
I will never reach for a firearm. If a police officer wants to see your firearm, by no means should you ever actually reach for it. One of the things that I like to say is, first of all, I don't know if this police officer's body camera is on. If his body camera is on, she's never going to have a video of me reaching for a firearm. I had the honor of going through some of my training classes with Officer Chad Thompson. He's actually a really competitive, like an actual competitive shooter. You could look this dude up on YouTube. He's fast and can outshoot most people. When he taught our class, he actually taught us, he was like, you know, look an officer in the eye, smile at them, give them your name, let them at them. Psychologically, it's pretty hard to pull a gun and shoot somebody who's looking at you and smiling. Now, with that being said, if an officer wants to see my firearm, I'll say, sir, my firearm is on my right hip, and I'll advance so they can see it. If they want to pull my shirt up and take it out of the holster, they can. Now, if they start giving me verbal commands and they're saying, no, you need to do such and such, like I said, comply now, complain later, right? There's a way to do these things. So imagine if I'm standing here in a hostile environment, and every one of us knows when the situation is a little bit more aggressive and a little heightened and hostile, right? So if I see this officer is clearly agitated and this person maybe has a firearm on me, what I'm going to do is say, sir, would you do me a favor and please call your supervisor? Because I don't feel comfortable right now. I'm afraid for my life. Right? Because that's key. Now, if this person is still giving me commands, pull out, you know, show me your firearm. Most officers aren't going to do that. I've had at least 4 encounters with police officers, never had a problem. I actually had a scenario in which I was rear-ended. I informed the officer, hey, sir, my name is James Collins. I have a license for concealed carry, firearms on my right hip. He said, that's cool. You don't go for yours. I won't go for mine. You know what I mean? We made a joke
Cool,
about it, and we went on with it. But if an officer is adamant, like, hey, I need you to show me your firearm, I'm going to be very methodical. Okay, sir, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to reach across my body with my left hand, and I'm going to lift my shirt so that you can see my firearm. Okay, I'm going slowly. Are we good? All right, I want you giving me I want this officer to give me a verbal that he understands that I'm no threat. Right. And I'll say things like this: sir, I just want to make sure you and I both go home safely. Yeah. Okay, right. So I'm reaching across. I'm going to lift my shirt, okay? And I'm going to pull my shirt up very slowly. I'm going to let this person see exactly what I'm doing. Sir, do you see my firearm? Do you still need me to remove it from the holster? I would prefer you come and remove it from the holster. If they still refuse, at that point, I would say, all right, sir, I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to reach with my fingertips and I'm going to remove my firearm from my holster. I'm going very slowly so that you and I both get to go home, okay? If at any point you feel unsafe, let me know. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna be very like slow and methodical about it, because at this point you have to understand your life's on the line.
Yeah. No jerk emotions. No,
man, none of that. That's a problem.
Then
because it doesn't take long. Imagine this. Imagine if I wanted to do this. Boom, you're shot, right? If this had been a gun, I drew it and fired in less than a second. Yeah. So we put police officers in a scenario in which, well, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Our society is going crazy to the point where a lot of police officers are scared.
I agree.
So if you're scared and we actually have too many criminals that are doing terrible things, like shooting at police officers.
Right.
I mean, so because we can't just treat this thing like it's all one-sided, right? There's a problem going on both sides. And the challenge here is, how do we fix the problem on both sides at the same time? Right?
Through education, yeah, like you said.
This is where we talk about education and empowerment and transparency and accountability. Because guess what? If James Collins does something stupid and ends up getting shot by a police officer, I don't need you marching and protesting for me, right? Don't say, well, they killed another black dude. Be like, nah, James knew better than that. Right? But if there is no transparency, then you don't have that accountability. If there is a video of it, but they won't release it, you don't know if I did something bad or not. Right?
Right.
So imagine if there's a video of me pulling a gun on a police officer.
Yeah.
You deserve to get shot.
Right.
That's not popular. A lot of people don't want to hear that. But guess what? If you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Amen.
Absolutely.
I told you this is my dude, man.
Like, hey, the Collins brothers shutting us down 2 weeks in a row. I love it, man.
Amen.
But I mean, that's one of these sad scenarios, man. Like I literally was engaged with so many hostile conversations behind a young teenager in Ohio. You know, that was a truly tragic situation that so many people could have prevented. So many adults should have intervened in that scenario, but they didn't. That young girl called the police. She called 911 because she said they were trying to jump her and mess with her grandma, something along those lines. When you see that officer on the scene, there is a adult male trying to kick this woman in the head that's on the ground. Right. You see that. And then you see this girl who's lunging at someone with a knife in her hand. How does this police officer know which girl is which?
Yeah, it looks like the girl in the pink.
How does he know who's the one that called the police? He doesn't. So imagine if he had a body cam like he had his was on. Imagine if he gets out of that and
with mustard.
There was nothing for him there was no win for him. If he shoots, clearly now everybody's up in arms, right? If he doesn't and this other girl gets stabbed, now what?
People still up in arms.
This is why I try to tell people it's easy to Monday morning quarterback, but when you jump out and you're into a life-threatening situation, and they say, well, why couldn't he shoot in the arm? Why couldn't he shoot in the leg? Nobody's trained to do that. This idea of injuring people, that's not what firearms are for. no one is trained to shoot people in the arms or legs. Because if I miss your arm and I hit the wrong person, or if I miss your leg and I ricochet off this cement sidewalk and somebody else gets injured, I'm responsible for this bullet. The moment it leaves your firearm, you're responsible for whatever it does. That's why I taught you all in class what? You aim center mass.
Yeah.
Now, unless you are a designated sharpshooter and, you know, they might say, you know, you have a special type of a mission in which, hey, we need this person alive. But that's different. That's a whole different scenario. We're talking about a beat cop who pulled up on a scene in the middle of an active community fight.
Yeah. It was a bad fight too.
It was bad. And a knife is a deadly weapon. And if somebody comes
if all you got is a fist, it's a bad weapon. It's a winner. Yeah.
A knife is a deadly weapon. And if you come and you approach someone with that, and if you pulled out a knife and they pulled out a gun, guess what?
Hey man, they was the wrong fight. If they pull out a knife, you gotta
play stupid games, win stupid games.
Yeah.
And we gotta put that on the shirt.
This could have been handled differently.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, I'm still Monday morning quarterbacking, right?
Because
I was the person on that scene. This police officer doesn't have a whole lot of options. Why couldn't they taser? You know why? Because you don't respond to deadly force with less than lethal force.
Right. And plus, he was a distance away from that girl too.
He couldn't have, like, to think this person could have drawn a taser and tased her fast enough that it would have prevented her from stabbing that girl. If you look at that video, she was going in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know one thing, that when he hit her with them 4 bullets, boom, 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 it knocked off her feet.
Yeah.
It changed the whole trajectory.
Of course. That's why they're carrying a larger caliber handgun. Yeah. And, you know, I tell you all in class about why you don't shoot 22s at people.
Yeah. 22s don't stop nobody.
Yeah.
He was probably carrying a 45 or a 40 caliber.
Yeah, a 40 caliber 9mm?
No. 9mm is one thing. 40 caliber is something different.
Oh, okay. I'm learning, man. I'm slowly but surely learning. This is my gun guy. Yeah. He don't take.
Sounds like you need to come take some more of my classes.
Yeah.
So look, I'm gonna tell you about this. Man, so we were in class and we were shooting. So I don't have a handgun. I have a shotgun. So we had to shoot a handgun in class to pass. So like you take this class, man, you got to go in there with thick skin, because he was like, man, you shoot so horribly. I'm like, dog, what do you expect? I don't have a handgun.
I only say these things to my friends.
Hey man, dog, you got to have thick skin when you deal with James Collins, man. But hey man, I appreciate you coming on and giving us this insight, man. I do want to say this though. You never answered the question about James Collins, home security. What kind of weapon does James Collins feel comfortable with securing his home with? You never answered that question.
So this is probably going to be the most arrogant thing I've ever said to you.
Dog, no, it's not. I promise you it's not. But go ahead.
One of the concepts they taught us in the Marine Corps is one mind, any weapon.
Okay.
So I might have to use a weapon of opportunity. If someone breaks in my home and I'm sitting here right now, we in this Zoom chat,
right.
Boom, somebody breaches my front door. Well, I'm not going to run upstairs and go grab my handgun. They're going to get whatever I get my hands on in between here and the door.
Gotcha.
You know,
could be a butter knife, could be a base.
Dog, I might throw this iPad at them. You know, they might get this glass. But my point is, it's about a mindset. I refuse to be someone's victim.
Gotcha.
If they come into my house, they better be prepared. They better be prepared to kill everybody in here, because that's going to be what it takes.
Dang. I'm just glad you always invite me over.
Bruh, you're welcome here anytime. But at the end of the day, man, like I'm not God's gift. I'm not John Wick. I'm just an average, ordinary guy.
You're far from ordinary. Cut it out. You're far from ordinary. You have a specific set of skills to do a specific set of jobs. Yeah. I'm just saying, dog. You're not. I'm an ordinary guy. I'm ordinary, dog. You a little bit over.
I enjoy firearms. I spend a lot of time at the range. I think about like the distances in my house. So I think about that when I go to the range. I'm like, okay, well, if I had to take this shot at 15 yards, what's that look like? So I take an 8-inch circle, which, you know, fits on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and I put it out there at 15 yards.
Right.
And I'm going to shoot at that to say, okay, with this 8-inch circle, how confident am I that I'm going to be able to put a round in this circle every time?
Yeah. I've never thought like that at the range. I just went out there, bang, bang, bang. I was out there shooting. I can't tell you how far it is.
Yeah.
But
for me, like I said, it's different because if I'm going to teach you, you expect me to know what I'm doing. So imagine if I'm talking jump to you in the range, you're like, well, you think you know something, you do it. Right. And I shoot. You're like, ooh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Hey, hold on.
Yeah. Whoa. He can't shoot. Yeah.
But you'd be surprised how many instructors really aren't good shooters because they don't necessarily have to shoot in front of their students. I
got you. So like for you, it's not about when you teach your students, you want somebody to get. I was talking to Daryl Spells, and Daryl Spells was saying his job as a father is to pass the baton to his children. So when you have students in your class, you're looking at it from a passing the baton type situation. You want them to come in with zero knowledge of wherever they are on the gun spectrum, and then when you pass that baton to them, they leave out of there more informed than they came in. Correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, I can do that.
I mean, I've had people that have come in that are prior military veterans. Like, I don't care if you are a good shooter. I want to be able to teach you something, whether that's about the law or I teach you something about being able to shoot faster or anything along those lines. Some people shoot fast better than I do. Some people shoot more accurately than I do. I'm a decent mix of both. I can shoot relatively accurately and relatively fast. I'm not the fastest. I'm not the most accurate, but I'll guarantee you, I give myself a fighting chance.
Because you're not going to be a victim.
I think that's important to teach, though.
Because my wife and kids are relying on me.
Yeah. Can they shoot?
Who?
Your wife.
Well, my wife can shoot.
Yeah, I know your daughter, because your daughter is young.
Now, my kids can't shoot.
But your daughter, so your oldest daughter, can she shoot?
No. So I tried to introduce her to firearms when she was around 11, 12. Mm-hmm. She never really took to it. So I don't force it. You know, I don't think it's fair for me to push my passion onto her. So she'll be 17 in August. And to the best of my knowledge, she's never fired a actual firearm.
Not around you, no way. And the middle baby can't shoot neither.
I only have 2.
Wait a minute, she's 17? I didn't know that.
August.
I did not know 17. That, man. I did not know that. I thought that child was in middle school. I am.
It's man. We in this together.
Hey, look, I'm adding babies on you too, dog. I want you to know that.
But hey, cut that out. Hey, we on this podcast, but I don't want to cuss you out in front of strangers, dog.
Yeah, man, I'm adding babies on you. Yeah, my bad, dog. Like, I got you with 3 kids already, dog. Look, I'm claiming.
Watch it.
I'm sorry. My bad, dog.
Watch out for that. You said you got a toddler too, right?
Right.
3 years old?
All right.
Yep. I have a 3-year-old and a soon-to-be 17-year-old. So pretty substantial gap.
Yeah.
One's going to college when one goes to kindergarten.
Very substantial. Very substantial.
Yeah, I got my son is 14 months. I plan on definitely teaching him some gun safety later on in life. See, my experiences with guns, because I grew up in a bad neighborhood, like I got exposed to guns in the way I shouldn't have got exposed to guns, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely, but I've also seen like friends coming up. I lost a buddy when I was like 12. Him and his brother got a hold of a gun and one of them got shot, you know? So it definitely changed my perspective on guns. Like I don't really like guns unless it's in a situation where you need it, you know what I'm saying? I definitely plan on taking the concealed and carry course up here, like trying to find something, because it is open carry law in Seattle, Washington, or in Washington in general. But it's just, I've seen a mix of things with guns, and I've seen a lot of people using them the wrong way. So I'm glad we had you on the show, because like you expanded my mind on a lot of things on approaching guns, the safety inside your house. especially when you're talking about finding things to take cover, knowing what you can shoot through and what you can't shoot through. Like that's important stuff that I hadn't even factored in. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm gonna be moving through the house with some James Bond, making sure I can take cover. So, but so yeah, it's definitely important. I appreciate you coming on and sharing that, man. It's wonderful.
Yeah, if I could drop one last nugget, because it sounds like y'all about to kick me off again.
You man, take your time. You still got bourbon to drink.
So a firearm is just a tool. You rarely hear me use the word weapon. It's a tool to address a problem. If you got a chair with a loose leg, the tool you need is a screwdriver, right?
Exactly.
Well, if a bad guy kicks in your front door, the tool you need is a firearm. It might be a pistol, it might be a shotgun, it might be a rifle, depending on what's in, your arsenal, And for me, I tell people, don't give the negative connotation of, it's a bad thing if I'm into guns or if people know I have guns. Just be responsible and be prepared to use the firearm. Don't go around with a firearm if you're not psychologically prepared to take someone else's life.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember in the class you said, and we ain't gonna kick you out because you ain't finished your bourbon yet. You said you can't use your firearm in the event of an altercation. So if I get in a fight with somebody, I can't go get my firearm to settle the conversation. I got to either take that L or come back again and fight again. But I can't go get my firearm because then I'm no longer the victim. I'm what's the word you said?
You're no longer the victim. You are the instigator.
That's the word. Yeah, that's it.
Because once you escalate a situation, let's say it's a simple assault. You and I get into a physical fight,
right? And
I get the best of you.
Okay.
Well, now you want to go and get a gun. Well, if you had the opportunity to go and get a gun, it means your life was not on the line.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So there was a clean break in this altercation. You chose to go to your vehicle or you went to your house, you went and got a firearm and came back because of your pride and your ego. Mm-hmm. More people get shot because of hubris, excessive pride, and that ego. People are embarrassed. That's why they don't fight. That's why people out here shooting, because they don't want to get whooped.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yep. I didn't like your example of me, you getting the best of me either, but it's okay.
I mean, we can say you whooped me, dog.
No, it's your example. No, it's your example, dog. Let you have it. It's okay.
Hey, all I know is.
It's all right, man. I'm good. Okay. You're still my guy, man.
Mychal, you see what I got to deal with, man?
Hey, man, we go at this. So, like, I'm gonna tell you, man, the Collins boys I met 2 out of the 3, and they talk about Neil all the time. So I'm like, I can't wait to meet Neil. That's all I'm waiting for. Yeah. And Yoda's brother's name is Neil, right?
Bill.
I didn't call him. I didn't change names. My bad.
Oh man, you changing names, putting babies on people.
It's William, Jeremy, and James.
Yes. So, hey, before we let you go, man. So there's a story that he hasn't told you yet, Mychal, and I'm gonna let him tell it because he thinks I'm letting him get off this Zoom without telling the story. One of the reasons, man, that guy, this is my guy, is because of this story he's about to tell you. I had a chance to meet his mom. Was it? I forgot when it was, but we were in Raleigh, and she was there. What was that for again?
I can't remember what the event was, but I remember.
Yeah. So I got to meet his mom, and then so he told me the story about his mom. So I'm gonna let him tell it. But it's a dope story. Go ahead, tell the story, James.
So Jason and I have several things in common.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you've told your story.
No, I'm waiting for you to tell yours. Because yours is dope.
I mean, since you're opening it up.
I know. I'm waiting for you to tell your story though. Yeah. So all right. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, tell the story because I'm excited. So
what Jason is alluding to is the fact that back in 2011, I was a kidney donor. My mom, renal failure or kidney failure runs in my mom's side of the family. My grandmother had renal failure. She was on dialysis right up until her death. My mom had kidney failure, and my mom had gone on the kidney transplant list, and they're waiting for a donor, and then they kind of opened it up to see who in our family could be a potential match. Well, I was not a specific match for my mom, but I agreed to do something called a blind swap. Basically, what that meant was if I were willing to donate a kidney to a stranger, my mom could receive a kidney. So in December of 2011, basically 6 people went into surgery at the same time. They took kidneys from 3 donors and gave them to 3 recipients. And none of us knew who each other was. Obviously, I knew my mom and I knew myself, but the other 2 pairs, like, we didn't know them at all. And we all had to sign waivers and agree to a release. And then we did a basic press release in which they basically had us standing behind our recipient. And they said, okay, James, now you're going to go and stand over behind this person. And that's how we found out who our organs actually went to. But to Jason's point, yes, I donated a kidney to give my mom a better chance at a better life. And I think now that is worth Jason telling his story.
So, okay, so in 2013, yeah, babe, man.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
Dope, that's a dope story, man. So in hearing that, my dad was on dialysis. So I went down there to see him, and I didn't realize he was on dialysis. And I kept wondering, man, why you always got this machine hooked up to your night? And he was like, man, my kidneys are bad. I need a kidney. So I was like, word? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh man. So when I came back, I went, got checked. I said, Dad, I'm gonna go and give you a kidney. And I heard about James giving a kidney to his mom. So I was asking, like, so tell me, man, about donating a kidney. He was like, man, he told me the story, and I was like, oh man, let's do it. So I went and got tested, and I was a genetic match for my dad. And the one thing I can remember from donating that kidney was I remember the anesthesia kicking in and then waking up in the waiting room. And I'm like, yo, what the, and it was a couple of days later, the pain, it was just a shearing pain in my shoulders. And I said, man, what was it? He said, man, it's the gas. He said, I'm like, what gas? He said, they blow you up, take the kidney out, and then they seal you back up, and they got to get, the gas has to dissipate through your body. And they say you have to pass gas or go to have a bowel movement. I was like, that is some of the most excruciating pain. It's like all in your shoulders, man. It was horrible.
Jeez.
Hey, but that's a bond we share.
Yeah. Hey, that's amazing. I had no idea, Jason. I had no idea.
Yeah,
that's what's up, both of y'all kidney donors. That's amazing. Man. That's definitely a selfless act, because there's people out there that wouldn't even do it for their own family. So kudos to y'all brothers. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm not sure the size of your following and how many people are going to see this podcast, but I highly recommend that all people become organ donors, because every person, when you pass, you're taking vital organs and tissue with you to the grave.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every person that dies could potentially save 9 other lives. So that being said, like, it's one of the last things you can do that is unselfish. You don't need this stuff anymore.
It's not gonna do you no good.
Absolutely.
Sign up as a donor. Everybody gets a little heart on your driver's license.
Yeah, I got the heart on mine. I'm definitely gonna do it. Hey man, that's what's up, man. Just appreciate you coming on this episode. First, I want you to drop your contact information, just in case there's anybody is interested in taking your classes, learning about some guns, and just drop your contact information so they know how to reach out to you and get in touch with you for those classes.
Well, I thank you both so much for allowing me to come on and be a part of the show. The easiest way to find me is on social media. My name is James Collins. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram with Bullseye Firearms Training. If you look us up, you'll see my picture there on both of those venues. So please reach out to us, follow us, like us. We tend to go live on various issues, and I'll speak on some of the things that happen out in society. But if anyone's in the North Carolina area, they want to book private sessions, or they want to do some group sessions, whatever the case may be, reach out. We'll talk it through. We'll try to put together a curriculum that works best for you and your crowd. So we look forward to the opportunity to train. And by all means, stay safe, stay ready.
Dig it. Y'all had last thing. Y'all had a raffle for AR-15. I didn't win.
You didn't, but you did participate. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I did participate. Yeah, I didn't. I was hoping my ticket would have got that AR. because I was ready too.
Ticket number 15 was the winner.
It was that ticket 15 wasn't mine.
You didn't have 15.
No, I didn't have 15.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I intend to do it again, man. I actually had a really positive support from the community. So I think I'm going to do it again probably in July.
Okay.
And I'll probably do another AR-15.
Okay.
You got another chance to win. You got another chance to win.
Yeah.
Hopefully this time that ticket.
Yeah, and also I think it's probably time that I start teaching a basic introduction to the AR-15 as a class, because lots of this is the most popular firearm in the United States, the AR-15 platform. Everybody wants.
They're hard to get.
They're hard to get. Not many people have a lot of experience with them, so I'm going to put together a class that's going to be a basic introduction to AR-15 platform.
So on the AR-15, it shoots a 9mm bullet, doesn't it?
No, they make an AR platform that shoots a 9mm, but a standard AR-15 is actually shooting what's called 5.56, which is a NATO round, which is the equivalent to a civilian 223.
Okay, so a 223 and a 5.56, it's a bigger bullet.
It's a different bullet, so it's faster. It's more narrow at the tip. It's traveling exponentially faster, and it's designed to do something different. So this bullet is really narrow at the front and fat in the back, so it's going to hit and start flipping.
Flipping over or flipping?
Flipping inside your body. So I might go in here and come out here.
Oof.
I'll do all that. Yeah.
Oof. But there's a bullet that you could buy, so once it hits your target, it explodes and it doesn't come out, right?
Well,
technically,
there's a round that will hit and mushroom, so it will go in and then open up. So that's what a defensive round or a hollow point is designed to do. When it penetrates that human cavity, it opens up so that all that inertia stays inside that person and the bullet doesn't travel through that person. Gotcha.
And those are the ones, as they said, usually the better one to get for home defense. Correct. Because the bullet not going through the house and hitting somebody in the playground.
A lot of times they're not really being factual. Like I said, a piece of sheetrock and vinyl siding is not going to stop that bullet.
Oh, okay.
If you can punch your fist through it, you can't stop a bullet.
Yeah. I'm not punching through it in the first place, but I take it.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe you were
you.
angry enough, you punch a hole through a piece of sheetrock. Like people bust through sheetrock by mistake.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not punching. That's hurt your knuckles, man. Shoot. Yeah, like a hand model, dog. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. No, but yeah, man. Yeah, that'd be great, man. If you definitely do the AR-15 class, man, let me know. I want to take that because.
All right.
Yeah, I ain't gonna help with the AR-15.
I'm gonna have to come down and take that class too.
Dog, come on. I gotta get it, man. I want to see this.
We're gonna take this show on the road, man. I'm coming to Seattle.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
That's the benefit of me being a certified instructor with the NRA. I can teach classes all over the country.
Word?
Really?
I cannot teach concealed carry only because there is not a concealed carry standard across the country. So the NRA offers a concealed carry course, but individual states have not adopted it. So if you take an NRA concealed carry class, your local sheriff's department is not going to honor it. So,
I didn't know that.
So I'm certified by the NRA and I'm also certified by the state.
Wow. See. Man, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I
didn't know that.
Yeah, there have been a lot of people that took like an online class and they were taking like a Virginia concealed carry class thinking they could get this North Carolina concealed carry and not have to spend the whole day sitting in class. Well, they just wasted their money because there's not a single sheriff's department in the state of North Carolina that's going to give them their concealed carry with their certificate from a Virginia instructor.
I learned something new today. I did not know that. Well,
I
got a North Carolina concealed carry instructor.
Don't let it expire on you, brother.
Oh man, that is true. I'm gonna get done, man. I'm gonna call him on.
Hey man, once you go on the website, like I told you in class, go visit the Durham County Sheriff's Department website and schedule an appointment. And it's probably going to be 3 to 4 months out before you get this, like actually get in front of the sheriff.
Gotcha. That's cool. I can do that. I get that done.
Yeah. So now you got 2 things to do.
Yeah, you got some more homework now.
Yeah.
So
this is the same homework I had. I did do the first time.
This is the same homework he didn't do the first time.
Yeah, this is what I did do the first time. Yeah. The hunting license. He's been telling me this for forever.
For years.
Yeah.
And that's quick though.
Yeah.
That's quick though. That's a quick trip to Walmart.
Yeah. Go to Walmart. This ain't gone.
And I'm a lifetime hunting, fishing guy. So,
but I can just pay $35 and I get that hunting and the fishing license, right?
Maybe. Now, it might be one of those scenarios where they might require you to take a hunter's safety class.
What?
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh man, I can't.
It's
just
only because
James
you waited
Collins?
so long. They introduced it like in the past 2 or 3 years.
Oh, okay. I can't just tell him I know James Collins.
Yeah, that my name carries 0 weight. If you go to Walmart, you can tell them you know the governor. They probably still won't care.
Okay. All right. I get it. I go have to check it out. Hopefully I ain't got to take no class. If I got to take a class, can I come see you?
And you can come see me. I don't teach that class.
Sad, man. Okay. All right.
Man,
all right,
that's that. You know what? That might be my next thing, man. I might go and get that certification so
Yeah,
that I
maybe
can
you
teach
should,
that hunter safety.
that would be dope. That would be dope. Would be. Something else on the resume.
You just gave me a new idea.
Hey man, I need a percentage off. That's all I need.
Yeah, I got your percentage, man, right here.
Yeah. the empty glass.
That's your percentage, bro. The next time I have a fish fry, you get the first piece.
Hey man, I take it, man. I take it. First piece out the grease is always the best.
Hey, dog, I'm a country boy.
Hey man, hey, I'm waiting to go to Darden too, man. Y'all, nobody's taking me yet. I'm ready, but I gotta have my hunt license because I know y'all going to hunt. Yeah, and I'm not sitting in the truck.
I'm the only college boy that hunts, man. Nobody else in my family hunts but me.
No, I know Jeremy told me he don't hunt neither. Yeah,
actually, nobody else in my family is really into guns like me. Like
Bill's not into guns neither. Wow.
He owns guns. Bill is in the military.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Bill's like the man though.
He's the man in my family. Like Bill is a colonel in the Air Force.
Yeah.
So he gets a huge amount of respect. You know, coming from my background as a Marine, I have a huge amount of respect for my older brother. I've always looked up to him. He's always kind of been the bar. So I realized, you know, at the end of the day, eligible for retirement until now. I'd had to stay in 7 more years.
Yeah. How long did you stay in anyway?
I did 4 active and then 4 in the reserves.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is my last question. I'm gonna let you go. If a young person came to you today and asked you, man, I got an opportunity to go to college, I got an opportunity to go to the military, what would you send them? Do
both. Let the military pay for you to go to college.
Dig it. Get your GI Bill and let that pay.
No, so the process that I went through is I was selected for an ROTC scholarship. So they paid for my undergrad tuition and fees. I just had to pay for my own room and board. Had I gone to a different school, the ROTC scholarship is a full ride at some schools. Just depends on the way the school is structured. Mm-hmm. So I had to work my little part-time job to pay for my room and board. My brother Jeremy and I were in undergrad at the same time. So my parents couldn't financially help both of us. You know, we didn't come from money. So our parents couldn't just kind of, you know, break us off and, you know, pay for an apartment or like that. Just like, that's not what we come from. We worked hard and, you know, made our way through. And there were periods during undergrad in which I had 2 jobs. I was a security guard and working at Old Navy, all with a scholarship from the Marine Corps, because the scholarship didn't pay for food. It didn't pay for housing. It, you know, it just didn't cover everything. So, you know, it is what it is.
And look at you today.
Come from good stock, man.
Yeah,
come from
man.
Good stock. Both of the brothers. It's been great episodes, 2 weeks in a row. I appreciate you coming up here.
Nothing but the grace of God, man. Nothing but the grace of God.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on, man. You've been an inspiration, man. You dropped a lot of nuggets on us. Again, I can't thank you enough. we got 2 of the 3 college boys on here, man. We're shooting good, man. We got 66%. So
yeah,
we dope.
We might have to try for the third.
No, hey man, we're gonna have to try to get Bill on here, man. I don't
James, you're gonna have to help us out with that. James, you're gonna have to help us out.
Man, hey, you just let me know, and I'm sure he would be more than willing to jump on. Now, he's a bit more precautious than we are. He's gonna want to know what y'all want to talk about.
Yeah.
He's not gonna walk into this blindly because he doesn't know y'all.
Yeah. Because Jeremy asked questions like, so what's it gonna be about? I'm like, dog, he's gonna ask questions. Don't worry about it.
Notice how I didn't ask you a thing.
No, yeah, you didn't ask as many questions as Jeremy did. Yeah. You was
all
like,
I want to know is what time and am I going to get an invitation to the Zoom link?
Yeah. As soon as you asked for the Zoom link, bam, it was right there.
He hit me up.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, Bill is the methodical thinker. He's going to say, well, wait a minute, who are these guys? And how do you know them? And what do they want to talk to me about? He's going to want to make sure he, has already protected himself from any potential exposure. Now, he would love to do it, but he's going to want to know.
He's going to want a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I got you.
That's what's up.
I got you, man. Hey, man, well, look, again, thank you much, man. Appreciate it. I got a drink.
I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, no, man. Look, man, you've been an inspiration to me, man. I watched you make your moves, you and your brother, man. It's been a lovely journey. I appreciate you guys just letting me watch you and ride your coattail. Next thing I got to learn how to ride a motorcycle. That'd be my next thing.
Hey, you start hunting and riding motorcycles, you're already into guns. Everybody can think you and I are twins.
Yeah, they won't think that. They're not gonna think that. I'm be like, he's the handsome one. Oh man.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. Definitely was very educational. And it was a great conversation. It was great to meet you.
My pleasure.
Definitely. Hopefully in the future we can get back together, maybe have you on another episode. Just something we do every week. We ask our guests to leave the viewers with a little something. You're an accomplished gentleman that has done some great things, and you're following your passion with guns. So I just ask that you just leave our viewers, and there's younger viewers out there, just leave them with some words of inspiration.
The most inspiring words of wisdom I could ever say to anyone. I'm a man of great faith. So trust God and follow the process. God has opened up a lot of doors for me. I cannot sit back here and say, it's because I was such a great Marine, or I was such a great student in college, or I was such a great corporate sales guy, or I'm such a great instructor. None of the things that I have accomplished really come down to how good I am. It's all about how great he is. So trust that process and just know that God is in control.
Absolutely. Right, some great words to leave us with. Well, if this is your first time tuning in, I appreciate you coming and joining us. Please like, subscribe, and continue to follow us on our journey. If this is another episode, another week you're rocking with us, thank you for continuing to join us on this journey, identifying agents of change in our community. Thank you for joining us on another episode of I Am the Change podcast, brought to you by Dreams to Reality Incorporated, a nonprofit organization geared toward uplifting, inspiring, and empowering communities all over the world. I'm your host, Mychal Davis, alongside Mr. Jason Redmond. We thank you for joining us, and remember, our goal is not to be better than anybody, but together we can achieve better for everybody. Thank you, and have a good night.